was waiting for the thing to stop spinning, but I guess it... Anyway, hello everyone. It's
Hi
iWonder
everybody.
I'm Kim.
I'm Andy, and I've got lipstick on.
Yeah, we are like looking really good for you guys. So we're continuing our makeover process and having a lot of fun and learning from all of you guys too, because you look so beautiful out there. Gabby, you know, Andy was watching a video of Mistress of the Dark Moon, Gabby's, the other night, and in the morning she said her makeup is just beautiful, and I was like, girl, I know. I know. So we are getting there, and Andy does a great job. You know, it's like anything, because you get into habits. And I used to be such a fashionista. I mean, for a very long time. I had like a hefty bag full of lipsticks when I was like in my 20s. And I really enjoyed it, you know. And then I just went through this period where it seemed like there was so much to do in life that I wasn't important. And I got into the habit of not doing anything, you know. And so, you know, I told Andy this year, I was like, you know, I want to really get some of that girl back, you know. And Andy does a great job. I don't know why. Whose lipstick is that? What?
Yours.
Is it? Oh! Oh my God! It's so gorgeous.
It's yours.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I mean, really, you can have it, because I'm not crazy about the way it looks on me.
Oh, I think it looks fabulous on you.
I think it's a
She's
good
got
color.
this thing about red.
Yeah.
She thinks red is not her color, and
Yeah.
I think red is absolutely her color. I don't know where this is coming from. Could be a deep-seated psychological issue.
Because I used to wear red lipstick a lot. Like, this was 20 years ago. I mean, I was known for red lipstick. But then I got away from it, and when I tried to go back to it, it just, I don't know, it didn't look right on me. So I'm not sure what it is, but I don't know, it looks kind of garish, and like on Andy, it looks like old school classic, you know, like the women of the 40s and stuff like that, you know. But you know, I just don't feel that now when I wear it, and I wish I did, because I do love the color. But I'll be moving on. So so anyway, welcome. It's Saturday, so it is Conversations with the iWonder sisters, and this is where we share the conversations that we actually have with one another as friends and as sisters, just spontaneously. And sometimes we'll say the night before, or maybe a couple days before, what do you want to talk about, you know, on Conversations. And you know, we'll have something on our minds, and we'll write it down, say, okay, we'll talk about that. Sometimes it's more spontaneous, you know, it's right before. And today it's more like us sharing a conversation that we had this morning that we know a lot of you out there can relate to, and it's about startups, those of us who have small businesses, those of us who are entrepreneurs and freelancers, and how we give so much of our time and creative energy to other people's projects because we need to make money. As we're building our businesses and our following, we do things to pay the rent, pay our bills and everything. And Andy and I are freelance writers. I've mentioned that a few times. We both are natural writers. We both love to write. But we are coming upon a time where we really are noticing that not being really valued for the amount of time and creativity and work that we put in for other people's websites is beginning to become extremely frustrating, and it's, you know, I mean, to me it's a little hurtful when you do a lot of work for people, you put your heart into it, and you take up hours of time that you could be spending on your own stuff, so that you can give somebody something of value and that they can pay you. an equal trade. And then you have to go through all these changes to get paid. And now all of that time that you wished you were writing for your own blog, doing these videos, continuing to build our own brand, is gone. So that's what we want to talk about today. And I said to Andy, because we ran some errands this morning, I said, oh, what did you want to talk about today? And she said, well, I think we need to talk about what we talked about this morning, because a lot of people can relate to that. So
yeah, I think they can. When it comes to paying the bills, so many people do what they don't love. And we do write for a living, so we are doing something that we enjoy, but we're doing it to other people's standards, other people's prescriptions. Very often we're doing it to other people's topics and not being able to choose what we want to say. And we do it because we need the money.
Yeah.
And when they don't pay us when we feel they're supposed to pay, when they say they're going to pay us, we get very frustrated. It's very hard to go back to these people and say, look here, this is not my hobby.
Yes.
This is my living. And I deserve to be paid for the work that I've put in. Kim has worked like a banshee the last 2 weeks and written many, many articles for this magazine that we write for. And all they paid her was $60, and they owed her more than $100 more than that. So it's very, very frustrating, and we feel very much like it's time for us to go up a notch, to take our energies up a notch.
Yeah.
And both of us are a bit at a loss for exactly how that's going to look.
Yeah.
We're not sure what the next step is for us. And we meditate on it, and we talk to the angels, and we do everything we can to get messages back, what's the next step for us. But so far we haven't heard anything, and I don't want to say it's worrisome, because it's not. I feel that what we do and what we have is very special and very pertinent.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can be helped by what we do. But we're a bit stuck right now. And this morning, when Kim only got paid what she got paid, it just sparked a conversation that we've probably been meaning to have for a while, which is, why are we spending our time, our energy, and our creativity doing all this work for other people and not doing work on our own stuff? Because we need to pay bills.
Yeah, and if you're freelancers out there, whether you write or I hear a lot of people who do art and graphics, like web graphics, have the same issue. They have so many goals of their own and projects of their own, but they work and build sites and things like that for other people. And we've gone through this, Andy and I, in many different ways. And I remember one time a couple months ago, I wrote for someone, because we're always looking out for freelance opportunities, and I found a company, and I found out it was a rather large media company who paid me very well for offered to pay me very well for an article that I wrote on the Caribbean. And they had seen my work. I had written other articles for a small Caribbean magazine. They had seen my work and wanted to know if I would tailor one of my Caribbean articles to their client. And so the money was really, really good for one, for something that maybe I spent about 3 hours on, maybe total. But when I got done with it, I'm expecting to be paid, and I got a serious runaround. I kept getting all these instructions like, oh, send us your PayPal. Then I send the PayPal, and then it was like, oh, no, now we need an invoice. Okay, we know how to do invoices. We do that all the time. I created invoice. Now it's literally, I'm going to Japan until October the 15th. And then I was totally disconnected from the person that I made this agreement with. So I had to go and do research, which I'm good at. I Googled the company, and I found like a few people that I could email. And I was very professional about it, but I was also very firm. And I said, he and I made no agreement for him to pay me when he comes back from Japan. That's not how I work. This is how I pay my bills. I get paid when I turn in work, and that work is approved, and you say, Kim, I love it, thank you very much. That's when I get paid. And I spent like the better part of a week chasing these people down. The two people that I was in contact with were both away. Neither one of them were in the office, and there was some poor little guy who was trying to answer my emails. And anyway, I was supposed to get paid on a Monday, and it was like Thursday when I finally did get paid from somebody who I have no idea who it was, but I didn't even care. But to have to put that much energy out every single day for work that you have the work. That's the thing about creativity. Once we put out the energy, no matter what it is, it's like somebody painting a mural, and then after they get done, the person says, oh, it's not really what I thought it was going to be. You need to pay that person. And we've heard so many creatives of all different types, spiritual entrepreneurs, spiritual creatives, talk about the same thing. And, recently I wrote an email a couple weeks ago about this very same issue, and I was very firm and very clear that if I were your accountant or your lawyer and I had sent you an invoice, you wouldn't be over there not responding. If you didn't have the money, you'd be trying to say everything you possibly could to keep this person in good favor. And I feel like, I'm not being valued. And as I told Andy this morning, everything is a message. That's how I take life. Mm-hmm. Everything is a message to me. Things appear as circumstances in front of us. That's how they manifest. But everything is a message to you, to me, when things happen repeatedly like that. And I said to Andy, every night this week when I was going to sleep, getting in my relaxed mode and everything, in between like awake, sleep and awake, I was receiving, my mind was like talking to me. And every night it was like, Kim, you're spending so much energy on all time and energy on all the stuff, to the point where I'm like zapped out, my brain is fried. And when it's time to write a post for iWonder, I'm just feeling like, oh, I have to revive myself because there's nothing left. And every single night, I heard this message to me, and I said to Andy, I've been answering back saying, I know, I get it. I know it's time, as Andy put it so perfectly, it's time for us to take our energy to the next level. It's time for us to be in a place where we draw to us that which we put energy into and get the same amount of energy back in the form of income, whatever it may be. So I know very clearly that all of these happenings are a message. And as Andy said, I just, we don't know right now what the next step will be, because we are spiritual coaches. We have so much to offer, so much life wisdom, so much wisdom and education throughout our lifetimes. And the thing about iWonder is that we love it so much. It's so much us. This is so much us that Andy and I have both said we'll do this. We could do this for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take anything. I don't have to step into another persona to be an iWonder sister. That is who we are. The things we write about are our lives. The things we share with our blog readers are very personal lessons, frailties, weaknesses, things we've overcome, our triumphs, and how we actually got there. That stuff is all personal. No one can do that the way we can do it. And so that's where we are, right now. We want to be in the business of coaching, spiritual coaching, spiritual healing. We both of us work with crystals and stones together and separately. One of us will have a love for certain stones, and another will have a love for others. And then there's stones and crystals that we both love working with, that we charge for our use and our healing, and for the use and healing of others. So this is what we do. The writing is a part of our healing work for others and for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
So we're just sharing this with you too, because when you get it out, when you say it, I mean, sometimes, like my grandmother used to believe that when you would pray, that you should pray out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Not loudly, but that you should speak the words. For her, there was an energy in speaking something out loud than just whispering it inside.
I think there's a big difference between thinking something and feeling something and actually saying something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because when you say it or when you write it down, you're putting it out into the universe. The other ways are very internal, thinking and feeling, and and they can go around and around in your system, in your head and your body, for years and years and not be manifest because you haven't gotten them out of you and showed what they are to the universe.
Yeah.
So I think saying these words this morning was really helpful to both of us.
Yeah.
And we both realized that we're on the same page where this is concerned.
Yeah.
And that's always helpful too.
And it's interesting because when you are seriously on a spiritual path, no matter what it is, when you're seriously on it, it's your life. There is a young lady out there, Egyptian, and those
Mm-hmm.
of you who are in the pagan community, I'm sure have watched her videos. And I was listening to a very good video last night from Egyptian, and she was talking about how paganism is who she is her life. Like she had mentioned that a friend or maybe a boyfriend had said, "Oh, it's not good to label yourself by your religion," and she's like, "No, this isn't a religion. This is it's who I am."
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel about my spiritual path. Is who I am. And so when you're really on it, okay, and you want your life to be guided by it, you look at things in a different way. Everything that happens, you see it in a different way. So as we're talking now, if I had received the correct amount of pay last week and this week from this one particular company, the conversation may not have happened between the two of us.
Right.
the frustration would not, and in frustration is passion. And it would not have been there had I not woke up this morning and saw that once again I wasn't paid the right amount of money, the full amount of money for all the work that I've done. So in that, as a person who is on a path, I see it that way. And what it did for me was it yelled something that had been whispered to me all week long.
Mm-hmm.
And that was why, when Andy, and I were having coffee, and she got up, and then we're having coffee, and I was just like, I am so frustrated. Like, that's the first thing I said to her. I said, I'm just so frustrated because what more can we do as freelancers, as artists, than to do the work, to do a high quality of work, turn it in when it's supposed to be turned in, give you what you want, edit it when you say it needs editing, can you add this, can you revise that, right away. What more can we do? And I realized that in all of these questions that the message was raised to me again in a louder way that there needs to be a higher level of trust, as far as from me to the universe to the divine. There needs to be a higher level of trust. And one thing I can say is that I do know that the answers are going to come to us.
Yes, they will.
We know that.
And I think they will faster now that we've spoken them,
mm-hmm.
And we're sharing them with you now, too, which even heightens their potency more.
Indeed.
It was one thing for us to share it with each other, but now we're sharing it with you and putting it out there. And so I think the power of our feelings and our intentions are more illuminated now that we've been sharing this.
Yeah, indeed, and we also, know that many of you, people in particular that will be watching us, would understand that there are many of you out there who have started your own businesses and have your own blogs and have your own brand, and are waiting to do wonderful things for people, and you're using your talents, your gifts, and your time, and for other people's businesses and their projects, and you want
just to keep yourself afloat.
Just keep yourself afloat, exactly. Because we're human, we're on the human plane, and that's a part of what we do here, is we pay bills, we pay rent, all of that. We need things. Andy and I are not luxurious people. We don't just need to have this, and that. Like, if I see something, I'll be like, okay, where's the knockoff? You know what I mean? Like, if I like a color of nail polish and it's $20, I'm going to find it for $2, and I'm just as happy. So we're not people that need to be luxurious in everything. We're happy no matter what. We pour our beer, and and our warm spirits, and we go outside and we look at this beautiful land. We look at the gorgeous night sky. We look at the horses. We look at our animals, and so we have a joy within us that is very deep rooted. So it's not about anybody taking our joy away. We just, after we had the conversation, we're like, okay, we need cat food, we need beer, I bought some warm whiskey. I like my warm brown liquors in the winter at night.
Yes, she does.
They're toasty, to brandies and whiskeys and stuff, at night and everything. And I have that tea, so I might put some in some tea tonight. But anyway, so we had stuff to do, and we had a little bit of grocery to get because I love to cook, and I'm making a fabulous recipe tonight. So we had to get that stuff, and we were glad we could do it, and we kept it moving, you know. But you know, it really sat within my heart that I need to be open and ready and in expectation. Andy wrote a great blog post about that, about being in expectation of these answers that we need on what to do to get to our next level. And
I've been feeling very strongly that something really good is about to happen. And when you feel that, you know, part of the process is trying to figure out if you're supposed to do something about it,
yeah.
or if it's about to happen to you, or with you. And you know, it's very hard. I mean, Kim was talking about the joy that we have. That's something that we depend on within ourselves, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And no one can take that joy away, and we have it on a very deep level, and it's very intense, and we talk about it all the time, and we don't take it for granted. But there are things that you do where you're dependent on the reciprocity of other people, and it is sort of out of your hands, and there's nothing you can do about it but say, hey, where the fuck is my money? And I can't write any more for you until I'm paid for what I've written.
Yeah.
You know, so
indeed. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, that, and I mean, after you do, I mean, to me anyway, this is a spiritual belief that I have, that after you do what's humanly possible for you to do, it's time to step back from it. You know, when I was in my 20s, you know, I was a hell raiser. I'm telling you, I could raise hell all day long. Especially if I felt that something unfair was going on to me, or happening to me, or somebody that I loved. You know, my motto used to be, you know, Anthony didn't know me then at all. My motto used to be, you know, I like peace, but I don't need to have it. That was my motto. Peace is nice, I like it, but if you want to start something, we can get it going. So you know, now, you know, I love peace, I value peace, and I value the energy that I put out. Now, Andy knows I'm only going to go but so far with the peace. Okay, I'm going to be professional. I'm going to always do things in a way that if it's ever brought back to me in any form or fashion, you know, I can say, yes, I'm proud of the way that I said that or handled that. But I think it's good to have a little bit of fire in you.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't represent yourself to the world in the way that you want to be represented, nobody can do that for you. That's something that comes from within, and that's something that comes from self-respect and self-love, and feeling like you're worth what you're asking for, that you're not asking for something unreasonable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you know, when Andy was saying also that, you know, the joy that we have about our lives is so deep rooted, and that no circumstance is going to take that away. And it's also important to know that there's no person or circumstance that put it there.
Right.
Because if a person or circumstance gives you your joy, then a circumstance or person can remove it. If they're out of the picture, if they mess up, if they don't do this, you know, if this happens or doesn't happen, then all of a sudden you don't feel life's joy anymore. You don't feel happiness. You don't feel like creating. You don't feel all of that stuff anymore. And I think that's important to mention, because the joy that we do have, nobody gave it to us. We did that work ourselves. Amen. Okay?
Yes, and it was work.
Yes.
It was work, but it's work that's worth it. It's worth your time and energy, because it all is a reflection of how you feel about yourself.
That's right.
And what you think you deserve in this life. As far as I know right now, I only have one life going around, and I want it to represent who I am as a human being, and to represent me as I evolve. And that requires work from me.
Exactly. Amen. So we wanted to share that with you, and please, leave comments if you resonate with what we're saying, or you've had the same issues, you have the same messages coming to you from Spirit saying, it's time for you to raise it, to take it to the next notch, and place this energy and love and passion that you have in what you're doing, what you can give to the world in your business, your brand, your blog, and believe me, we will share with you the answers that come to us.
Yes, we will.
And how we evolve into next year with iWonder Sisters.
The truth is, as Kim said this morning, we have come a very long way in a very short time with our blog and our brand. We've only been doing this really since last,
January. I guess it's almost a year. Yeah.
Right. And the blog, the website is beautiful. Kim has designed it amazingly, has laid everything out in such a beautiful and easy access way for people to come. And all the content is ours. It all comes from our hearts to your hearts. And and it hasn't taken us a very long time to get as far as we've gotten, but we're hitting a stone wall right now because we feel we're ready to take it up a notch. And right now we feel like we're being stalled by external forces.
Exactly. I'm sure different levels of truth and understanding always unfolds. But I just feel like it's time, and every time it's time for change, it feels uncomfortable. It feels a little scary. You don't know. You don't want to let go of this, but you want that. You know what I mean? That's the sign that it's time for change in your life. You still feel like you need to hold on to this, but you want that. And it takes a lot of courage to move forward and change and to do something different.
And to accept when you see 555.
Yes, indeed, which we see all the time.
There are so many fives in my life, it's not true, and I can't stand it.
Yeah, and they are all about, and it's interesting, too, because Andy has said in the last couple of weeks, it has started coming up. Sometimes 555 will lay low, and then it'll start rising up again. And she's mentioned, a couple times in the past couple of weeks, I saw it this morning, and I saw it last night, and I saw it on the screen, and, or you follow somebody on Twitter, and they have 555 followers, it always gets us. 5 is a number of change.
And transformation.
Transformation, definitely. It's the same in tarot. We're coming up on the last Saturday of the month where we talk about our experience with working with the tarot. But it's a number that represents transformation, deep transformation and change. And it really, as we've learned through our life experience in the past year, that to me it signifies change that really is stuff that's already there.
Yes.
Like you're already there, but you gotta move yourself into it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that happened when we moved here to New Mexico. 555s everywhere, and it was crazy how we got here. Crazy. But it was meant to be. We wanted to be here, but we thought we had a plan. and we didn't get here by that plan. So, we never thought we'd be on a horse ranch. We never thought we would be, throwing hay or anything, but we are, and we love it, and we absolutely love it. So that number has been coming back up again, and it's signaling a time period where we're there, and it's like, how do I get myself to where my spirit self already is?
It's like being a butterfly still in the chrysalis and trying to figure out how to break the chrysalis open so you can fly away.
And that process, just like birth, is challenging for the butterfly. You know what I mean? It's work. It's work to get out of there. And so that's, really to me, the perfect image to have when you see fives, especially multiple fives. You're in a time where your life is here, and you're here. Abraham Hicks calls it, they always say what you have in escrow. That's the word. So they say, like, we have all these dreams, desires in escrow. And so our spirit selves are living it. They're living it. Because as soon as you desire something bad enough and you have a thought about it on a certain plane, you have manifested it. What happens when you don't see it on this plane is that you haven't met up with it. So that's where we are, and that's where a lot of us are. Like, our spirit selves are having a ball. They're like eating caviar and drinking champagne and stuff. They're traveling the world, creating art, and and all that type of everything. They're doing everything that we have a passion for, because it does exist. And so the process now for us, and I'm sure for many of you, is the moving into that space and meeting up with your vibrational self. And then that's when it can manifest into physical form. So that's where we are. So we thank you for letting us share that. We also want to share some fun things, because I was like, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I went into Walmart, and we took our Chloe with us. And Andy and Chloe stayed in the car.
Which I hate.
But Chloe
came because Kim wanted her.
Chloe is a barkaliciousness, I'm going to tell you. She'll bark you out of here, okay? So they stayed in the car. But anyway, so I got some grocery and stuff like that, and stuff for the animals, and the cats needed food. And Gabby, we have a tiger. It looks just like your tiger, except we call him Dharma because he fooled us. We went to the rescue, and we got our cat, our baby rescue, Dharma. He was like, we were trying to see
He was like Zen cat.
Oh, he just didn't make, he was just like, he didn't make a sound, he was like, I am the Buddha. So I said, this is the one, to Andy. And so we named him Dharma, the way, the path. And so he is like a terror. He is such a dude. I mean, he's a gangster. He is a gangster. I mean, we cannot win. Okay?
Our Christmas tree has suffered so much abuse because of Dharma. He has climbed up in it. He has taken tens of balls off it during a night. I wake up in the morning and they're all over the place. Branches at the bottom of the tree, because this is a fake tree, branches at the bottom of the tree have been dislocated from the stem. So they're hanging down to the floor, and we can't hang balls off them.
He is something else, I'm going to tell you. He is something else. But he's so beautiful. He looks exactly like your tiger. Exactly. What are they called? Those cats.
Tabbies.
Tabbies, yeah. And Dharma looks exactly like a cat. I never met that was like a mom to Andy.
Yeah, her name was Dulcie, Dulcie Bell, and I often called her Dulcie Bella, and I often called her Boo Boo. And she was my mom, the mom I never had. She really mothered me and got me through an awful lot of stuff. And her face and Dharma's face are one and the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Andy couldn't get over it. I mean, it's
And my sister couldn't either.
Yeah. Yeah, how much he looks like Dulcie Bella. And he's just loving. He's love muffin, but he is so bad. He is just a little gangster. He can carry stuff in his mouth that's 3 times his size. I mean, he's just a character. So one of these days we'll get him on camera. But anyway, they needed food. So anyway, I was just like, Andy and I, we're collecting our makeup collection, new makeup collection. And so anyway, so I'm going to do my nails today because they look terrible. But I loved the Wet n Wild's fast dry. Love. It stayed on forever, and the only reason my nails actually began to chip was because after a week I was just like, okay, I had it on for a week, and I started doing dishes with no gloves. And the hot water, we both love hot water, and it just chips away at them. But I'm going to tell you, Wet n Wild, that fast dry brand is amazing. So today I picked up this for myself. This is NYC's Long Wearing. I'm going to put some Wet n Wild top coat on it. But it's called Boat Basin. It's called Boat Basin. But I love blues and blacks. And this was like 93 cents in Walmart. So let's see if I can get it. Focus. There we go. So it's a yummy blue. And then Andy's, oh no. Is it over there?
It is. Hold on. Now, if I go get it, it may take another hour for it to be shown. So you'll have to bear with me. Kim will have to wing it as I make my way over to my table and get my nail polish.
Yeah. Yeah, Andy, you should have brought that over here.
Well, I wasn't thinking.
So while Andy is doing that, you have to understand we record on my bed. Andy likes to sleep high. I like to sleep low like the Japanese. I love it.
I'm stuck.
Well, do you want me to get it, Andy?
No, I'll get it.
Okay. So while she's getting that, I also purchased some e.l.f. Cosmetics, and I think I got a liner. I got an eyeliner, which I have on, but our camera's probably not good enough for you to see. But I got an eyeliner, and it's called Black. Sorry about it. It's called. Hey,
I'm back again.
I mean, we are who we are. I mean, listen, if you looking for polished and and pre-recorded stuff, then this wouldn't be the channel for you. But so I got an eyeliner, and I forget now what it's called. It has a really cool name, but it's black and it has some shimmer to it. So it really like opened up my eyes. And right now I have on my eyes the lipstick that I got from Limnit, which is the Bewitching Hour. I actually had that on my eyes. It's such a great texture, and I have a little bit of shimmer silver shadow over it, and then the black eyeliner from e.l.f., which was $1. And then I haven't tried it yet, but I'm excited. This is e.l.f.'s Lip Stain. Oh, there we go. Lip Stain. Let me see if we can get a little bit. So it's like a berry color. It might not be that great. So it's called berry blush. It says pigment rich, long lasting color. So that's what I'm looking for. And this was like on sale. I mean, you know, Elf has, for those of you who know Elf, they have like $1, $2, and $3 things, you know, on their displays usually. And this was like $1.50, I think, in the Walmart in Vegas, New Mexico. But then Andy had been wanting a red, a true red, and so I got her this from NYC, and it's just gorgeous.
Love it. I'm going to put it on today.
So we're going to do our nails today. And this is NYC's, it's called In a New York Minute.
It's a fast dry.
It's a fast dry. It's a fast dry. But it's just such a true red. I mean, you know, the orange reds and purpley reds and all that are beautiful, but sometimes you just want a true red. Okay, there you go. So you can see that. So, I got that for her, and I have on Remmel's. I love this. It smells so delicious. Oh my God. This is Remmel's lacquer because I wanted something nude. And so this is Remmel's lacquer. It's called, it's Show Off. Remmel's Show Off is the brand. And it's Stargazer. That's what I have on right now. So it just gives a nice sheen. My lips are very, very light. These are like my lips. They are very, very light. So I just wrote an article about that. You know, black women, we can have lips that are the color of our skin, or they can be very light, and I happen to have very light lips. So if I'm using a color to get a true color, I would need to put, like, you know, a foundation or concealer, something like that on my lips, unless it's very highly pigmented. But so here's our Chloe. She has her jingle bells on for the holidays every day. So we want to say thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're always so happy to come here and talk to you guys.
Exactly, and share with you, and thank you for allowing us to share with you. And please subscribe and send your, you know, your comments, and be nice, because we're not going to deal with any comments that are not nice. I'm just saying. We don't, you know, I mean, we don't do that to people. If I watch something and I'm not a fan of it, you know, I just move on. That's what I do. So anyway, so we wish you all a happy morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you might be watching this, actually. And we're going to be recording Love and Libations tomorrow and talking about other things, and some essential oils, because we did a great recording last week that was like over an hour long, and it just got all messed up, so it only recorded 15 minutes. I also got some really cute tights. I love tights, and I'm building like a new wardrobe, so these are like the tights that look like faded jeans, and I got these from eBay, and they were like, I think, $4, and I have another pair coming. They were like $4, both of them. So a lot of fun. I love tights, leggings, whatever you want to call them.
Next time I'll show you. I'm into long skirts.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't had any on me in a very long time. And Kim got me a gorgeous long skirt from India. But it's in the wardrobe. I'll show it next time, I promise.
Yeah, it's so gorgeous. You know, I mean, this is so brilliant, and you know, and really such a great price. So we're like building, you know, just like, you know, having fun, recreating, and, you know,
and
ourselves.
We're going to be getting leather bracelets.
Yes, yeah, we saw, and that's from Etsy, because we do like to support Etsy, because there are people like us, you know, as well. So that'll be fun. So
yeah.
Okay, so we'll show the skirt tomorrow. So anyway, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Those of you who have subscribed, we really, really appreciate you so much. I'm going to tell you, 20 of you, I think there's 24, who have subscribed to us. Honestly, it's just like having 200. It's like having 2,000. That's how much we appreciate you taking the time to do that and wanting to hear more and share more with us. So that number to us feels like, it's in the thousands, and we love it. When I saw the 24, I was like, Annie was already sleeping and everything. I would have been like, but she had been in bed too long, so I figured she was probably sleeping, could wait till the morning. so thank you guys anyway so much, and so we'll say ciao.
Bye.
Oh, and visit us on iWonderSisterhood.com. And we're on Twitter at iWonderSisters. Chloe is on Twitter at ZenMasterClo. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.